Well, here we are again. We are at part 4 for the ABCs of the Big Easy.
Make sure you see parts 1 through 3. They're great.
We'll put links below. Okay, before we get started,
we screwed up.
I wanted to address an omission in part 3. Somehow we missed explaining Faubourg. Now, thanks for those of you that pointed this out, and keep up the good work. Faubourg is an old French term that roughly describes a suburb. In New Orleans, it is what our earliest neighborhoods were called, such as the Faubourg Marigny. All right.
And not if we've corrected that mistake.
Exactly. Last episode in the series, we tackled the letters through G. That's how many unique terms we've had. If you want to get caught up, like we said, follow the links below to see all those videos. Let's jump into some more of the culture's unique words, terms, and phrases. If you have any others you think we should cover, please mention it in the comments below. All right, starting off at the letter H. I almost said the number H. That wasn't We have hurricane. Yes, it is the big scary thing that can rule our lives for
about half of the year.
Yeah, 6 months of the year. But it's also one of our most famous drinks, originated in the 1940s at Pat O'Brien's. Next up, we have hurricane party. Now,
thing you do to prepare for the big scary thing.
That's what some people do. I would hope that it's not as popular now as it used to be, but it is still a term that people will throw a big party just as a hurricane makes landfall to distract themselves from it.
And that was H.
Going into I, Indians. Now, in our terms, Indians stand for the local African-American families and social clubs who dress up in very ornate, hand-beaded, sequined, and feather outfits to
look amazing.
Yes, to represent their streets or gangs during Mardi Gras. We're going to do a whole episode, probably more than one, just on that in the future.
Because their outfits are incredible.
Incredible. And the history behind it is something special.
They're so pretty and just awesome.
So, next up, J. We start with a stomach rumbler, jambalaya. This is a rice dish with meat or seafood, no green meat.
No green meat.
It's similar to a Spanish paella, which is believed to be where its origins may have started while we were under Spanish rule. Next up is jazz. Swinging Louisiana music made popular by Louis Satchmo Armstrong and others. You ready? You want to try that one?
No.
Joie de vivre.
I was never good at pronouncing anything other than English.
Joie de vivre is a joyous attitude toward life. Somebody is very positive about everything.
And we're at K now.
Yes, we are. Starting off with
flying through these.
King cake. The treasured coffee cake type twisted rolls served during carnival season.
Covered with sugar.
Covered with different, either icing sugar, some have crystallized sugar on them, and all different kinds. Can even get them filled.
Ooh.
January 6th or Epiphany is the start of the carnival season, all the way through Mardi Gras.
And that's when we start getting king cakes.
You get little plastic babies inside the cake, and the person who gets the baby
is responsible for bringing the next king cake.
That is correct.
Man, are they delicious.
They most certainly are. And this carnival tradition is celebrated everywhere. Schools, offices, hospitals, anywhere where people gather, you'll see this happen.
Yep.
Next up is crew. That's crew with a K. Traditionally a carnival organization's membership, but it's used loosely for any group of revelers. Come to think of it, y'all are part of the Big Easy Life crew.
Makes sense.
That's right. Thanks for being part of our crew. Next up is L. Now,
I can pronounce that.
Go with it.
Lanyap. I believe that's what it is.
Not leg nappy? I've heard it called that by accident. Lagniappe.
Oh gosh, that has to be funny.
Another French holdover term meaning a little something extra. Think of it like a baker's dozen where you get that 13th donut for free. Next up is another French term. You get all these French terms, right?
Lots of French terms.
Laissez les bon temps rouler. What's that mean?
Let the good times roll.
Let the good times roll. You come down here, that's a term you'll want to live by. Next up is Lundi Gras. This is the day before Mardi Gras, the Monday before Big Fat Tuesday, when King Rex and King Zulu arrive on the riverfront. Then we have levee, an embankment built up to keep the river from overflowing its landing. Now, we've got levees both on the river and on the lakeside and all different areas. Matter of fact, we've had levees here since the 1730s.
2M.
All right, next up is making groceries. Now, I didn't put a lot of slang in this list, but this is one that is so quintessential New Orleans. We don't buy groceries here.
We make them.
We go and make groceries. Time to go make groceries. So
whatever sense that makes.
Whatever. I'm not saying it makes good English sense for sure, but it's become part of the way we deal with things and speak of things. Next up is Mardi Gras. We talked about Fat Tuesday. This is the day before Lent. This is the day to celebrate before the Catholic tradition of sacrificing and fasting during the 40 days of Lent.
And also it's the day when Rex and Zulu end up having their parade.
They rule the day. That's correct. The actual mayor of the city reads a proclamation giving them control of the city.
For the day.
They haven't taken advantage of it that I know of. So.
It might be interesting.
Next up is Mokshu. This is a dish of young corn scraped off the cob and smothered in tomatoes, onions, and spices.
That sounds pretty good.
It's quite delicious. Next up. Now, if you read it, it's going to be a merliton. Now, if you're from here, it's a meliton. All right. If you're from most Spanish countries, it's a chayote. So this is a favorite South Louisiana vegetable. It's cooked similar to a squash. Think of a cross between a squash and a potato. So very, very, very good. You'll see it used a lot of different ways. Muffalata.
Sandwich time.
Yes. A round Italian sandwich loaf is as big as his head.
Wow.
Made with a variety of meats and olive salad.
That's one big sandwich.
Yes, you'll have meats, cheese, and olive salad. The variety changes. It's usually traditional capicola you'll see on it. You'll see salami. A variety of different Italian meats.
But the one defining characteristic, it's a big sandwich.
It's a big round. Yeah.
It's a very big sandwich.
Don't order a whole one for yourself.
Share it.
Unless you have someplace to keep it later.
Share your sandwiches. Everyone will love it.
Next up is N. Now, N'Orleans. N'Orleans, y'all. Meaning New Orleans. It's faster that way. We kind of cram it all together.
Abbreviations.
Neutral ground. This is a median or a grassy area between the paved areas on a boulevard or street. Named for the original Canal Street division that separated the American sector and the Creole sector. At that time, we didn't like each other very much.
This was just when we came under American rule.
Correct.
Nobody really liked each other.
And that area was considered neutral ground for the two sides to meet and do business and do trade.
Yep.
And it spread throughout the city.
We have now made it to
Okra. Now, this is an African vegetable used to flavor and thicken gumbos.
It's very big down here.
Yes, it can also be eaten as a side dish. Matter of fact, I had some
fried okra.
Pickled okra today. Fried okra's delicious.
Yeah, fried okra is a very common side.
Yes. Oyster Bar. Now, this is a place that serves raw oysters on the half shell.
It doesn't sound very good.
They can be very good. If you get them nice and salty, very cold, very good. So, I always wonder what the first person thought of who slurped an oyster. I mean, it's kind of like swallowing cold snot, but
ew.
Maybe that's not the best way to describe it. I hope you you've enjoyed our journey from H through O of our local terms. Stick around for other episodes as we work our way through the rest of the alphabet. Please subscribe to our channel. Go to our website at www.bigeasylife.org for our blog and merch and all our other videos. And thanks for being part of our Big Easy Life.